Hey y'all. Welcome. I'm so sorry right now. Welcome to Philosophic Oracle. My name is Angela. So today we'll be talking about what it means to surrender. And I'm gonna share I'm gonna be doing this while just to give my hands something to do. I'm gonna share an experience that I had um, um, not too long ago and talking a bit about what it means to surrender. So I'll share I'll share sorry, just a joke between me and Spirit. I'll share a first experience that I had and then we'll talk about surrender. So um a couple of months ago I got a tarot reading, and the reader, amazing woman, Bami Spirit, who used to be Water Baby Tarot. Love her. She is magic. So she in the reading she shared that she was like, I don't know what this means, but I'm gonna just share it. You're gonna see trees move. You're gonna see trees move. She's like, I just heard it. I'm passing on. I have no idea what that means. And I was like, okay. So at that time, I didn't necessarily know what it mean, but I knew that I had been spending a lot of time with the trees and um, beginning to cultivate a relationship with tree spirits. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna see them move. All right. Maybe, I'm open. I'm open. I would love to see the trees move. So anyway, fast forward, I was there was one day, I was looking out the window, sort of sad that I couldn't go outside because it was like super cold, super windy, and I don't do all that. Um, so I was looking out the window and it was so windy that I could hear the wind whistling and my window wasn't even open. That's how it was, just loud. And so I'm just looking out the window and I don't know what I was necessarily looking at, but I ended up focusing on this group of trees right outside my window. And one of the trees, it was some kind of pine tree, I believe, or maybe I'm not sure what kind of tree, to be honest, but it was moving, and the way the wind was moving it looked like the tree was dancing. And I'm telling you, it looked like it was just moving like this, all kind of ways. It was doing this, and I thought about what she said, and I instantly started to cry because not because of what she said, but because in that moment it was the most beautiful thing. So what came to mind after watching because I stood there for like 20 minutes watching this that one particular tree um dance. And so what I got from that is, on this spiritual journey and really in life, we should be we should be like this tree. Yes, rooted deeply in the earth. Yes, growing tall, always growing, upward, and you know because there are some downloads or some conversations that I've had with trees where they just like sharing all their wisdom. But in this particular moment, we should be fluid, right? And surrender to the divine, to spirit. So when the spirit moves like wind, right? Like a mighty wind, we're able to dance. It's like to allow spirit to move through us, to rustle our leaves in. So what it will look to folks looking in is like a dance. Look at them, they're, so gracefully through life, right? That, it just looks like a dance, like effortlessly. And so, this is what it means to surrender, you know, because a lot of times we, those of us who identify as like uh, movers and shakers and people who make things happen, because I identify with that so much. Um, and this is in part why I'm struggling so much with the concept of surrender, because what surrender looks like that tree, the wind doesn't like, the wind is not trying to uproot the tree, right? The tree is just deeply rooted in the ground. The tree is not going anywhere. But the thing is to work with that energy, that wind energy, to where, just it looked like the tree was dancing and the wind was whistling. And I was just like, how do I allow spirit to move me like that? You know? And spirit answered back, well, you got to surrender. You have to surrender. And that surrendering is an understanding, is a knowing that I don't know everything. I only know a small percentage of what I need to know, but I am not. But there is a larger force, a wind, a spirit that can help you, right? And so surrendering to that wind is a faith, right? It's believing and having faith that that energy, that spirit is essentially working in your good, in your favor, right? That spirit is calling you to dance, to dance, to I don't know, I'm telling y'all that was had to be one of the most beautiful things I've experienced um in life, just watching the tree. Watching the tree and just thinking about to myself, how do I surrender like that? And thinking of trees also, I can go and ramble on when it comes to trees, but I was thinking of, because there was a line of trees and that tree was full of leaves or pines, but there were trees by it that were bare. And I was just thinking of, on that same line of surrender, the tree doesn't think when the winter comes, will I get my leaves back well, actually, in the fall. In the fall, they lose their leaves, and they don't think about in the fall, if I lose these, will I get them back in the spring? Trees don't think about that, right? Because they're connected to the divine. They're connected to Gaia, right? And so instinctually, right, they just, it falls. Those dead leaves fall. They shed those leaves, right? Because they will get them back. They will grow back. So we should be like that tree, right? That tree that when the season is right, when it's time, when it's that divine time, shed those dead leaves without question, right? Because we know when it comes time, those leaves will grow all on their own. We don't have to look for them. We don't have to ask, are they growing back? We know when we shed those dead leaves that they're growing back, right? And a few of those practices of shedding and then growing, we'll look up one day, right? That process of surrender, we'll look up one day and we will be dancing, just dancing out of pure celebration, you know, pure celebration, um, and just uh, gratefulness to the earth and to the creator for the whole entire process. Um, hmm. All right, I'm gonna pull um one card. Hmm. Thank you, Spirit, for your patience and your wisdom. Thank you for thank you to my spirit team, my ancestors, my guardians, my true folk, my animal spirits. Thank you for your guidance and I know you have messages. I know you got some messages for the collective today. We welcome them. If there are any other messages the collective needs to hear, let them come. Well, let me ask them for an overall message. You're right. I do want one card. Thank you. 2. Okay. I got this top one. It says it says, I'm sorry, defenselessness, riding past wrongs, uprooting. What's that? You're not for everyone. Embrace your weirdness. Face your true north. I totally am not for everyone. You're not for everyone. I'm sorry. Maybe that uprooting, riding past wrongs. It's that tree. That's that tree energy. Hold on, y'all. I'm such a reflector. I don't mean to take a long time, but I just want to try to get the message that is being shared. Embrace your weirdness. Face your true north. So earlier when I talked about shedding, like shedding those dead leaves, um when it's time, right? In the season. Um I feel like that there's a process, a spiritual process, not just in the spiritual community, but in general. Um, in nature, there's that energy of that sort of recycling energy. Um, that we how do I share that? We don't necessarily whatever got you to this part of your journey is all valid. It's all valid. It's all amazing because it got you here, right? Everything that you've been through in your past, the hard stuff, the not so hard stuff, the grueling stuff, the stuff that almost took you out of the game, right? It got you here. And there are no mistakes, right? Only L's, only lessons. And that's something that I had to learn. And so there's a part, but there are parts of that. Um, when it comes to lessons, there are parts of that mostly the programming and the ways that we talk ourselves through things that may need to change, may need to shed. There are people that we may need to let fall out of our lives so we can be open for other people to come into our lives. And that's just how life works, right? And it's all in that surrendering aspect. But hmm, but also the card says you're not for everyone. Um and that part of surrendering, right, is really understanding that you can there are certain aspects of this life that not that we can't control them because we there's a lot. If we try we can control a lot. There are people that control a lot, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's in your best interest. And so there are some things that we should surrender to the divine, not because in that in not because I think sometimes we have this misconception that if we're all connected, right, we're all part of a larger um um a larger collective, in that if we connect, right, reconnect to this divine energy or just collective, if we connect to spirit, will you lose some of our individuality. But that's not the case. In 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 fact, we it's sort of embracing our individuality, embracing our individual how do I put it? There are gifts and there are gifts that we have individually that are for the purpose of the collective. And there are certain things that gifts and things that we have that will never if we don't surrender, right, to a let me get another card so I can help tie this together. Thank you, Spirit, because I want to make sure I give this correctly. Star bathing, light body, activation. So we talk about activation. There, you can live your whole entire life doing what society tells us to do, looking exactly how society tells us we should look, talking about whatever society tells us is cool to talk about, and never ever knowing who you are individually or what you have to share collectively for the collective. And unless you surrender to that collective energy, unless you surrender to the understanding that, again, unless we're like that tree willing to be moved and willing to dance, with the wind, like that is, to me, that is a freedom, right? Not being molded. You, I don't know if you can see this because it's probably backwards. You are not for everyone. You're not. I am learning that every day and relearning it. Everybody's not going to like you. Everybody's not going to love you. Everybody is not going to understand you. And that's okay. That is okay. A part of the messages that we get from society are you want everyone to like you. You want to have millions of friends. You want to have millions of followers because that validates who you are. But what I believe this message is saying is you're already a part of a collective, right? You are already validated. You are already valued. You already have gifts. You already have a purpose, right? But what we have to do and understand, what we have to do really is surrender to that. Surrender to ourselves, right? And what that may look like is talking to ourselves better, right? Talking to ourselves through expansion or activating, right? Connecting to those energies around us, the energies, the moon and stars, the winds and water, earth, connecting to that, connecting back to that, right? Connecting to our ancestors, connecting to all of that, all those larger forces at work, surrendering to that, because there is wisdom in that. Right? There's wisdom in the waters, in the way that she moves. There's wisdom in the wind. There is wisdom in the trees and in the stars and the skies and spirit, and understanding that when we're surrendering to that energy, that wisdom, we're also surrendering to parts of ourselves that can only be remembered through that collective, through that energy. And, you know, everybody's not gonna vibe with that. But if we are living out our true self, there's always gonna be somebody to vibe with that. Always. How can they not? Because it's the truth. It is the truth. And although we may think that people don't like to hear the truth, there are people who like to hear the truth. The truth make you feel a certain type of way. Have you ever met somebody that just made you feel good when you left? Like, oh my gosh, I love talking with them. I love hearing what they have to say. It's truth. You know, sometimes people just, anyway, embrace that. Embrace that part of you. No matter how weird it feels, right? Or how foreign it feels. Sit with him. Sit with her. Sit with him and figure out what that is internally, right? Mm, 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 Soul memories and gifts. What you got? This is lost lands. Delve inside. Find who that is. That's a lost land. That's a lost land we have yet to traverse. Your life is a canvas. Come on. I don't know if you can see it. Your life is a canvas. Artists, manifestations, creative accountability. That's when you can start to get into that. Once you start traversing that inner you, life becomes a dance, an art. Come on now. Who would want to surrender to that? And it's not all good. It's not all love and light. But life isn't all love and light. You might as well be on the side where you have some help in the physical realm and the spiritual realm. But I'm rambling. But yeah, surrender. Surrender. All right. For those on this path of surrender, I'll see y'all next time. All right. Bye.